Are your whites not looking as bright? Don't throw in the towel, try these methods first. Let's face it, out of everything in our closet, white items get dirtiest and dingiest the fastest, but luckily there are several methods you can try to bring them back to life, and that's what I'm gonna share in this video here today. And believe it or not, none of these methods include bleach. Yes, you heard me correctly. We are gonna ditch the bleach. I don't use bleach anywhere in my home. In fact, I keep this bottle on hand strictly for videos where I'm saying don't use bleach. It's corrosive, it can be harmful. If it gets on colorful clothing, it will ruin them. And honestly, over time, it's not gonna whiten your whites, it's going to cause yellowing because it damages or weakens the fibers. So skip this, try one of these other methods instead. Okay, method number one is going to be oxygenated bleach. So oxygenated bleach is different from liquid bleach in that this is better for us, better for the environment. It's not going to damage our fabrics. It's more gentle on our clothing, but also it's not going to ruin colorful clothing the way liquid bleach would. So there's two types of oxygenated bleach. One is a powder form. OxyClean is the most famous one, but I like this one by Blur, or different brands have their version of it. I'll link some options in the description below. So that's the powder version, and you typically just add that right to the drum. Or the liquid version of oxygenated bleach is peroxide. And with that, you can actually add, I do anywhere from 1/4 cup to a cup, depending on the size of the load. You can add that directly to the bleach compartment in your washing machine. So that's if you're gonna use them in the wash. You can also pre-soak or pre-treat with these as well if your clothes are really dingy. Now, while we're talking brightening whites and peroxide, let's talk about one area that's truly the pits. The armpit stains on white shirts, the worst, right? Now, I know even on colorful shirts, you can sometimes get buildup of sweat and deodorant. So to tackle these areas, you can either use a really good stain remover, or especially for white shirts, I like to use the peroxide. So you can just spray it on there, let it sit a while, and then wash it. If you do feel like there's deodorant buildup, you can make a paste of baking soda and peroxide and use like an old toothbrush or a scrub brush to work it around in there. The baking soda might help break up some of that built up deodorant and help deodorize it. So either way, spray it on there, let it sit a little while, and then wash it as normal, and that could help clear it up. But again, maybe use a scrub brush just to help break up some of that buildup on there. Two stain removers that I like to use other than the peroxide. You could do this one by Carbona. I love this one. This one is just a great stain remover to have on hand in general. And this one, Miss Mouth Messy Eater Stain Treater. I've had luck with that on armpit stains as well. So if you have yellow, dingy, gross pit stains, try one of those methods. The next method is to add a booster to your wash. Now, OxyClean can work as a booster, or oxygenated bleach can work as a booster, or you could do borax or washing soda. I love having both of these on hand anyway because they have a ton of uses around your home. I'll have to do a video soon on how to use them other places than the laundry. But as a booster, they help your detergent work better. So as the name implies, they boost the effectiveness of your detergent. They help soften the water, and the detergent can work better. So for dirty or dingy whites, you can add a scoop of either to your laundry. You can also pre-soak dirty items with these laundry stripping, which you may have heard of. I'll put the instructions for that in the description, but that's one way that you can use these to soak your dirty items as like a pre-treatment, or you can just add them to the wash, but they will help your detergent work better, which in turn is gonna help lift some stains and brighten up those whites better. Now this next one your grandparents probably use. It has been around for centuries, and that is liquid bluing. This is so cool, super affordable. The only catch with this is you have to make sure you use it correctly. This is highly concentrated, so you need to dilute it or else it's gonna make your whites blue or gray or dingy looking. But it's really easy to use, and the instructions are on the back. But what you're gonna do typically is I like to do a mason jar, a glass jar, and you do 1 to 2 quarts of cold water, depending on the size of your load, and then you'll add either a couple drops or a 1/4 teaspoon, shake it up, and it should just be a light sky blue color, nice and diluted, and then you're just gonna add it to the machine. So if you have a front loader, you can add it to the dispenser. If you have a top loader, you can add it to the final rinse cycle, or sometimes I will just pause the machine once there's water in there and add it to that, but it's gonna help brighten your whites. And the cool thing with this is that it actually has been used in the past. Groomers sometimes will use it to brighten the white coats of dogs, or ladies with white hair have used it to brighten their white hair up. I've heard you can actually use it on bug bites too. I've not personally tested that one out though. And it can be used to make your jeans darker. So a lot of uses for this, and like I said, it's really affordable, but just be sure to dilute it before using. Now, another method is not for washing, but for drying our whites. We're actually gonna skip the dryer and head outside and do what is called sun bleaching. And this is where you lay your items out there, whether they dry fully out there, or you just keep them out there for a couple hours, and the sun is going to naturally bleach them. I've done this multiple times. You will be amazed at how white and bright they come out, and it's a nice, free, easy resource. And the last tip for brightening our whites is not for washing or for drying, but for storing the items, whether it's clothing, towels, blankets, bedding, and that is that you don't want to store in plastic bins or any type of plastic. I've been guilty of this, honestly, but storing in plastic, it traps in moisture and odors and can actually cause yellowing of the fabric over time. So instead, we wanna go for maybe a canvas bin or something that is breathable. All right, and that does it. Hopefully this was helpful, or hopefully this helped save some items that maybe you thought were destined for the trash. Let me know in the comments below if any of these methods worked for you, or if you have any to add. Hit the thumbs up button if this was helpful, and be sure to check the description for tips and instructions and links to everything shown here today, and hit the subscribe button while you're at it, especially if you like easy homemaking tips.